When you feel nothing, the silent grief of lost joy. You used to laugh. You used to dance while cooking. You used to get excited about weekends, birthdays, little surprises. You used to feel. But now, even when something good happens, you feel numb. You go through the motions, smile politely, say the right things. But inside, it's empty. No spark. No light. No joy. And the worst part is no one notices. Because you've become a master at pretending. You post the photo. You make the small talk. You say, I'm fine. But joy, the real kind, the kind that lives in your chest and makes your eyes shine, is gone. This is not sadness. This is anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. And it's one of the most painful, least understood symptoms of depression in women. Anhedonia is like watching your life happen through a glass wall. You can see it, hear it, move through it, but you can't touch it. You can't feel it. And eventually, you stop trying. Maybe you said things like, I don't feel anything anymore. I should be happy, but I'm not. I feel guilty for not enjoying my life. It's like the color faded out of everything. This is the silent grief of losing joy. And it's more common than you think. You're not cold. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful. You're emotionally disconnected, not by choice, but by survival. When your brain is overwhelmed for too long, when your heart has held back tears for too many years, when you've kept yourself together for everyone else, joy becomes a luxury you can't afford. So your mind turns it off, not to punish you, but to protect you. Let's be very clear about something. Purple circle, the absence of joy is not weakness. Purple circle, the absence of joy is not failure. Purple circle, the absence of joy is a signal. It's your body saying, you've been in survival mode for too long. You've forgotten how to feel safe. And when joy doesn't feel safe, your brain shuts it down. Because joy is vulnerable. Joy is exposed. Joy means lowering your guard. And if you've been hurt before, if life has taught you that good things are followed by pain, you may have trained yourself not to feel anything at all. So, if you wake up and feel nothing, if you go through your day like a ghost, if the things that once lit you up now leave you indifferent, please hear this. You are not lost. You are not numb forever. You are not incapable of joy. You are disconnected. And disconnection can be reversed. In the next topic, we'll dive into the science of joy, what's happening in your brain, your nervous system, and your hormones that makes joy feel impossible, and how we begin to gently reconnect. Because you deserve to feel again. And I promise joy is still inside you, waiting to come home. The science of joy, why your brain blocks pleasure under pressure. Let's talk about what happens inside your brain when joy disappears. Because it's not random. It's not weakness. It's not just in your head. It's biology. It's chemistry. It's protection. Your brain is wired for survival. And when it senses emotional danger, real or remembered, it shifts priorities. Joy is no longer essential. Survival is. Brain 1. The reward circuit, when dopamine disappears. Dopamine is your brain's reward chemical. It gives you the feeling of motivation, excitement, and pleasure. But chronic stress, trauma, and depression reduce dopamine production and shrink dopamine receptors. This means you stop feeling excited about things you used to love. You can't get started on things you normally enjoy. You feel emotionally flat even when life is good. You stop seeking pleasure because it no longer feels rewarding. Brain 2. The prefrontal cortex, the emotional brake. This is the logical, rational part of your brain. It's responsible for self-control, decisions, and emotional regulation. But when you've been emotionally overwhelmed for too long, your prefrontal cortex can go into over-control mode. It says, "Don't get too happy, it won't last. Be careful. Good things mean something bad is coming. If you stay neutral, you won't get hurt again." So you end up living in emotional neutral. Not sad, not joyful, just flat. Brain 3. The amygdala, the threat detector. Your amygdala is like a security system for your emotions. If it senses risk, it sends an alert. When you've experienced trauma or emotional chaos, your amygdala becomes hypervigilant. It starts tagging joy itself as dangerous. Why? Because joy is vulnerable. Joy requires you to feel open. And if being open led to hurt in the past, your brain says, "Never again." So, it shuts it all down. Joy included. Female sign 4. Hormonal factors in women. Joy under the influence. Women's brains are deeply affected by hormonal changes. Estrogen, progesterone, and oxytocin all influence mood and pleasure. In phases like PMS, postpartum, perimenopause, menopause, chronic stress, these hormones fluctuate and disrupt the brain's pleasure circuits. This explains why so many women say things like, "I just don't feel like myself anymore. Nothing excites me lately. Everything feels like a chore." Test tube 5. The nervous system, when you're always in survival mode. When your body is in a constant state of stress, it stays in sympathetic mode, fight/flight. This mode heightens cortisol, numbs emotional response, prioritizes short-term survival over long-term joy. In other words, your brain and body become wired to protect you, not to please you. It's not that joy is gone. It's that your system won't let you access it yet. Light bulb the big picture. You're not joyless. You're disconnected. You're not broken. You're guarded. And for good reason. But your brain is plastic. It can change. It can relearn. It can rewire. Joy is not lost. It's just buried. And in the next topic, we'll share the story of a woman who thought she'd never feel again, and the day her joy returned. The day she realized joy was missing. Her name was Anna. She was a mom, a nurse, a good friend, a reliable partner. She was the kind of woman people describe as strong, calm, and the one who holds everything together. But Anna had a secret. She hadn't felt joy in over 2 years. Not real joy. Not the kind that makes you lose track of time or smile without trying. Not the kind that makes your eyes light up just because you're alive. She only noticed it when her daughter ran into the room one day, holding up a picture she had drawn. It was colorful and chaotic and filled with hearts. Her daughter said, "Look, I made it for you." Anna smiled. She said, "It's beautiful." She hugged her. But inside, nothing. No warmth. No spark. Just a hollow space where joy used to live. That was the moment Anna knew something was deeply wrong. It didn't happen all at once. It never does. Joy fades slowly. It drips out through the cracks of stress and emotional suppression. It disappears beneath years of caretaking, overthinking, heartbreak, and pretending. Until one day, you don't even miss it because you've forgotten what it felt like. Anna had survived loss. A miscarriage. A broken marriage. Long shifts during the pandemic. the constant pressure to be okay for everyone else. And at some point, her body made a decision. We can't feel anymore. It's too dangerous. She didn't cry. She didn't rage. She didn't break down. She just drifted from moment to moment, from task to task, from life to life. Everyone thought she was doing fine. She was working, functioning, smiling, but inside, she felt like a ghost in her own body. This is what emotional numbness does. It doesn't scream. It doesn't explode. It silences you from the inside. And over time, it leaves scars that no one else can see. You stop enjoying food. Music feels like noise. Conversations feel like chores. Hugs feel distant. Even your own reflection feels unfamiliar. And the guilt. That's the worst part. Because when you live a life others might envy, when you should be grateful, but can't feel anything, you start to hate yourself for it. Anna did. She would lie in bed at night, asking, "What's wrong with me? Why can't I just be happy? Is this who I am now?" But she wasn't broken. She was buried under layers of pain, silence, and invisible wounds. And joy? It hadn't left her. It had just been waiting. One day, something changed. Anna was walking in the park, headphones in, disconnected as usual. Then a song played, a song she hadn't heard in years. It reminded her of when she used to dance alone in her room. Without shame, without stress, just movement and freedom. For the first time in years, her eyes filled with tears. Not from sadness, but from something deeper, recognition. She remembered a part of herself she thought was gone. And that moment, those few seconds of real emotion became the doorway. She started journaling. She started walking without headphones. She let herself cry when no one was around. She said no to things she didn't want. She said yes to small pleasures, coffee, sun, music. And slowly, joy started to visit her again. Joy doesn't come back all at once. It arrives in whispers, in tiny cracks of light, in short-lived moments that grow stronger with time. If you've forgotten how to feel joy, if you don't remember the last time you felt truly alive, let Anna's story remind you. You are still in there. Your joy is still in there. And it's not too late to come back. In the next topic, we'll talk about how to gently rebuild your emotional connection and create space for joy to return. How to feel joy again. Tools to reconnect with your heart. You don't need to chase joy. You need to make space for it to return. Because joy isn't something you force, it's something you remember. It's something that grows in quiet, safe, emotionally open spaces. And the truth is, if you create that space, your body and mind will find their way back. Here's how to begin. Woman in Lotus Position 1. Reconnect with your body. Joy lives in your body, not just your mind. If your nervous system is always in survival mode, joy can't land. Try these simple reconnection rituals. Hand over heart plus breath. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Whisper, "I'm here." Gentle movement. Stretching, swaying, walking without a destination. Daily touch point. Every morning, ask yourself, what would feel good today? Even if it's just soft socks or sunlight. These small acts signal to your body. You are allowed to feel again. No mobile phones too. Create micro-joy moments. Start with low expectations. Don't aim for happiness, aim for presence. Each day, choose one thing to do with full attention. Drinking tea. watching the sky change, listening to a favorite song, watering a plant, lighting a candle. These are not silly things. They are doorways. Joy comes through attention. Writing and 3. Write without a filter. Emotional numbness thrives in silence. Joy returns when emotion flows again. Try this. Write 1 page every morning. Stream of consciousness. Don't judge it. Don't correct it. Let the feelings spill. Anger, boredom, nothingness, memories. The point isn't to be poetic. It's to unfreeze your voice. Brain 4. Give your mind gentle hope. Joy can feel impossible when all you've known is numbness. So speak to yourself like someone learning how to walk again. Daily phrases to whisper or write. My joy is not gone, it's healing. It's safe to feel again. I don't need to force it. I just need to open space. Even the smallest spark counts. These words become emotional nutrients. They won't change everything overnight, but they change the climate inside you so joy can grow. Sparkle's guided visualization, awakening joy. Close your eyes. Take a slow, soft breath in. Imagine yourself sitting in a quiet field. The morning sun is rising. The air is cool and still. Now imagine a small light glowing in your chest. Faint, but steady. Maybe it's joy. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's just permission. Breathe into that light. Let it grow slightly with each breath. Feel it warming your shoulders, your neck, your cheeks. And then, smile. Not because you should. Not because anyone is watching. But because something inside you remembered what it feels like to be real. To be alive. To be home. You may not feel it fully yet, but joy is on its way back to you. Tiny steps, gentle days, quiet openings. You're not numb. You're healing. Let joy find you. If this message spoke to you, please like the video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to the channel. You are not alone. And joy is still yours.